Next, welcome to the stage John Prineas, Executive Chairman of St George Mining.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here to present to you today. There's some exciting developments in St George we want to tell you about. I'm also very pleased to be able to take my mask off for 20 minutes. Okay. Quick overview of our project portfolio. Most of you know our Mount Alexander project, high-grade nickel copper PG sulfides here in WA. We're testing some shallow targets. We have tested some shallow targets. We've got some new conceptual targets I want to tell you about. The Paterson Project up in the Paterson province, East Pilbara. We think we've got area there that's prospective for a Winu-style copper-gold deposit. We'll be drilling that next month, so a very exciting time there. And the early stage Broadview Project. So we've got two large interpreted intrusions. It's the southern extension of the south-west terrain that hosts Charles's Julimar deposit. So we think it's prospective for nickel copper PGs, never explored before, so it's a great greenfields opportunity for us. So definitely a focus on future-facing metals, nickel and copper, the main focus. Quick corporate snapshot here. There's probably two main points I want to tell you about. One is our cash position. We've just done a placement for raising $5 million, and there's a share purchase plan currently open. So we're fully funded for the exploration work that I'm about to tell you we're going to do over the next 12 months. And the other key point on this page is our technical team. So we already had a very experienced technical team with Charles Wilkinson and Dave Mahone, ex-Western Areas, Western mining people. But most recently, Julian Hanna joined us as well. So Julian's track record speaks for itself. He was the managing director at Western Areas through their growth phase, made the discoveries at Forestania and made that company into a #1 independent nickel sulfide producer. And from what we hear today, maybe they're still going to be the #1 independent nickel sulfide producer. Julian repeated that success with Mud Resources. He's finished up with Sandfire, and I'm very pleased to say he's come and joined us back doing WA nickel and copper. So we're very happy to have Julian, and you probably see the impact that Julian has throughout this presentation. A couple of slides on the nickel market. You probably heard a lot about this. I won't bore you, but this top chart shows the nickel price over the past 3 years. So the bottom blue line is 2020. You can see it's steadily rising. The gold line is 2021, starts at a higher level and also continues steadily rising. The top light blue line is 2022, wild gyrations, but most importantly, it started at a higher level and is heading up. So very clear trend, nickel price is heading up. Probably the best way to feel the pulse of the nickel market is through LME stockpiles. So that bottom chart there shows you that the stockpiles have absolutely plummeted in the past 12 months. That directly feeds into the price. The other chart there shows you that there's still a large net short position on the LME. So that's what caused the market gyrations so far this year, possibly vulnerable to more market gyrations. So where is all this demand for nickel coming from? Well, it's the reason why we're here today. It's battery production. That chart shows you the installed battery capacity for EVs over those 3 battery chemistries. NMC is the one we like the most, of course. It's the nickel-rich battery, 144% increase. So surging demand for batteries. BHP last year came out and said they expect nickel in batteries to increase by 500% over the next decade. There's only one way to meet that growing demand, and that's through exploration and development of new projects. The only way you're going to get that is through a higher nickel price to incentivize that kind of investment. So from our perspective, higher nickel prices are here to stay. That brings us to Mount Alexander. So that's where we've got our high-grade nickel discovery. It's nickel, copper, and PGEs. It's a rare combination of mineralisation, high grades of all those commodities, high enough for a standalone deposit of each one of those metals. The main discoveries are over the Cathedrals belt, east-west trending belt, so very different to everything else in the Yilgarn, which is a north-south komatiite belts. We've discovered the mineralisation over a strike of 5.5 kilometres so far. The belt we interpret to be at least 15 kilometres long, so lots of opportunities there still. We think it's a big open mineral system. We haven't tapped into everything just yet. We're in WA, so in established mining territory just southwest of Agnew-Aluna, where very productive nickel mines are at the moment. So we've got access to infrastructure. It's going to be pretty easy to establish a mining operation here once we get a critical mass to our discoveries. So the initial discoveries were very shallow. That long section shows you in the middle there, the Stricklands. It's virtually outcropping. And these are fresh sulfides. At Investigators, the mineralisation starts about 25 metres from surface. At Cathedrals, it's about 20 metres from surface. Again, this is fresh sulfides. We've chased it down to about 200 something metres. And these discoveries have all been from targeting EM plates from surface EM and then downhole EM in the holes that we've drilled. So very spoilt up there. Every EM conductor we've had and drilled has turned out to be nickel sulfide, so there's no false positive anomalies in this Cathedrals belt. But the discoveries there are relatively small in scale, so we need to try and drill them out and see how big they really are, and more importantly, try and find out where the feeder is and where the bigger accumulation might be at depth. This is an intrusive style mineral system, and typically you will find the bigger deposits at depth. The table there shows some of our drill results, so you can see some really nice widths and terrific grades of both all nickel, copper, cobalt and PGEs. So in addition to our shallow mineralisation, we've got some conceptual targets to where this big deposit might be lurking. So with Julian's arrival, we all stepped back and had a look at the project and looked at all the technical data that we have, and we've come up with 5 conceptual targets to continue exploration, try and find that elusive big deposit. So target number 1 is the Mount Ida fault. So that's over there in the west. It's a major domain boundary and it intersects with the Cathedrals fault. So straight away it tells you that could be a control on the mineralisation in the Cathedrals belt. Has never been really drilled there. So we'll be focusing on testing that area. Target number 2 is Radar. We have a shallow discovery there, just 40 metres from surface. We did a little bit of step-out drilling there, but nothing that really explains the 2 to 3 kilometre interpreted structural anomaly. So we're going to do some more follow-up exploration there. Target 3 is the Fish Hook, which is over towards the east. There's a 4 kilometre structural zone there. We had a very high geochem signature as well for nickel copper. We did some minimal drilling there. We need to go back and find out exactly what's going on. Target number 4 is the granite greenstone contact. Very popular location for mineralisation. Has never been tested. We need to go back there and test that. And target number 5 is this bullseye anomaly just north of the Stricklands deposit. It's got a similar type of signature to the Stricklands. It's a coincident gravity and magnetic anomaly, so absolutely a walk-up drill target for testing. Seismic has been a great new data set for us and trying to unravel the structures at depth. Again, we've got intrusive mineralisation, so it's come up through the fault structures. These structures host the mineralised intrusives. Working out where they are is going to help us target where the deposit is. We did a trial seismic last year. We drilled some of the seismic earlier this year. We confirmed that the survey is actually modelling the intrusive structures perfectly within a pinpoint accuracy. We intersected them. So that's telling us we should do a bit more seismic and work out exactly what the structures are down there and try and generate a 3D model so we can really try and hone in on where that mineralisation might be. So there's a number of additional lines we'll be doing over there over the next month or so. In addition to trying to find that big deposit, we will be doing an expansion program for the existing shallow deposits. So that's the Stricklands deposit there, the mineralised envelope. It is open to the north and northwest. That is the down dip direction of the intrusive unit. So we did our first drill hole there, announced last week. We've hit 5 metres in the first expansion hole, 5 metres of mineralisation. So it does continue to the down dip direction. We'll be doing more drill holes to try and work out exactly the extent of that continuity. Similar expansion program for the cathedrals and investigators deposits. Again, they start 20, 25 metres below surface, so ridiculously shallow. Cathedrals has got a strike length of about 400 metres. Investigators is much bigger. It's about 1 kilometre plus. So there's several zones of mineralisation, high-grade mineralisation. Investigators will be doing some infill drilling there to see if we can link those in some way. There's certainly a very big EM signature there, and we've got to work out how continuous that is. So lots of drilling planned for 2022, both RC and diamond drilling. We've done diamond drilling already, and just reporting the expansion holes at Strickland's. But we're doing more drilling to test some of these new conceptual targets, so that's very exciting. Anything will come out of that. And we'll be doing some more routine RC drilling for expansion drilling of the near-surface mineralisation. We certainly think there's got development potential at Mount Alexander. We've done some detailed metallurgical test work with XPS, Glencore subsidiary up in Falconbridge. That was more focused on the Strickland's ore. Very good results, 27.8 copper concentrate produced, nickel concentrate with 11.5%. So we produce separate nickel and copper concentrates, commercially attractive, with conventional flotation process. Platinum, palladium. Palladium is about 80% of the PGEs. Platinum is there, and a little bit of rhodium as well. We will be looking at other processing techniques as well, but certainly the conventional flotation certainly shows that you can produce commercially saleable products. That's the Mount Alexander project. Now quickly on the Paterson Project, copper and gold. So copper is not so popular not important as a battery metal, but it certainly is an EV metal and still used in batteries. So we have 100% owned tenement up there. Our neighbours, Antipa and Sipa, already have joint ventures with Rio, very attractive joint ventures. Our area has never been explored until we got up there. We did some maiden drilling last year, just some recon drilling. We tagged the basement, 100 to 150 metres cover is there, which is not too bad. But most importantly, we confirmed pathfinder elements for base metals and gold, which gives us a lot of encouragement to keep going. There's some fantastic magnetic features there, which tell us the right structural features are there for a deposit. And we'll be going up there to start drilling that next month in May. So that's going to be a very exciting diamond drill program. The other project is the Broadview Project. This is very early stage greenfields, but very, very exciting. So you see two large magnetic intrusions there, both about 20, 25 kilometres long. So great opportunity for something big to be lurking there. It's southeast of the Julimar. We think the same southwest terrain boundary that hosts Julimar. So terrain boundaries are all the rage at the moment, and we've got some, we think, prime real estate right there. We've just done some auger drilling there, waiting for the results, but hopefully that'll show some anomalism that we can chase up. We already know there's a copper hit just on the boundary of our property, so there's definitely some potential there. Follow-up field work will be planned once we get the results of the auger drill program. So just to wrap that all up, Mount Alexander, high-grade nickel copper sulfide project. We've got discoveries there. We're trying to build up the critical mass of those discoveries and also try to explore for the bigger deposit lurking somewhere in that mineral system. At the Paterson, we've already established compelling targets for copper and gold mineralisation. We'll be drilling those next month. This is elephant country, so fingers crossed we get lucky up there. At Broadview, terrific address, southwest terrain that hosts Charles's Julimar deposit, unexplored ground where we're starting to develop some targets down there. So lots of exciting work to be completed this year, lots of news flow coming. I'd just like to close by saying our technical team is here, Julian, Hannah and Charles Wilkinson. So if you feel like having a chat on geological matters, please come to our booth and have a chat. We're all here for you. Okay, that's my presentation. Thank you very much.